Some things you can't control. You can't control your family, where you come from, what people have done to you sometimes, but you can control your reaction to that and how you refuse to internalize negativity, because the possible is coming. And when the possible arrives, I've got to be ready.
I do a sermon that's called There's a Richness in Poorness. The appreciation of anything is in the lack of everything. And I was born right here in Shaw. I've been here pretty much most of my life. I've traveled several years. I stayed in Texas 3 years. I stayed in California a year. But California was entirely too fast for me. I felt more at home where it seems as I didn't have anything, but I had everything. And out there where they have everything, they don't have anything. These are spare ribs. These actually are the rib tips that were removed from the rib itself. And these tips are preferred. For whatever reason, people enjoy the less meat in the gristle. I'm gonna use garlic, onion powder, and preferred rub. I think the rubbing it in is what makes it special. I was in a contest at Delta State. It's called pig picking, and it's right before the homecoming game. They have sausages, barbecue sauce, baked beans, pulled pork, the ribs of choice. You have to prepare each of those items, and they're rated. My little one grill that I used was just a minute picture of a grill compared to some of those that were there. They came in transfer trucks with full kitchens and layouts of all this professionalism. And however, but when the day ended, I ended up with first place in my baked beans, first place in my barbecue sauce, and first place in my rib. And out of 26 vendors, I think I ended up in 5th place. They thought it was amazing. They wanted to know it. I was even interviewed. One doctor came. He said, I don't pursue many things, but I'm gonna find out what you put in that Mississippi Joe sausage if that's the last thing I do. And I said, man, you can do this. It's nothing to it. One recipe you gotta have in everything you do, you gotta have love. If you got love and you share love, it's gonna win everybody come along, because everybody you know wants some love or needs some love.
The challenges of Shaw can be great, just as any rural community. I think about the experiences I've had. So much insecurity, so much uncertainty, what the future held for me, how I was gonna even make it. This is where I met the love of my life, and he still keeps me smiling. This is where they had the summer baseball league. Joe came up to bat, and I liked what I saw.
Looking back, somebody trying to catch my attention.
I got a little closer to the fence, and I sent my own special signal.
And that was Cora hissing like a snake. I was more of a solo type fellow, you know, old-fashioned. She was younger than I was, so I went to her mom and asked if it was okay that I could come by and visit with her. She said okay.
He came to Choctaw, and I was there at the store. I loved to play Pac-Man. We hit it off pretty good. He took me to my first movie. He taught me how to drive, taught me how to cook. I hate to say it, but he did. I want to share a little love note. He used to call himself a poet. Anytime he wrote anything to me, it was gonna be in a poem. Can I share what's inside?
You already have?
It says, my love, in this hectic life, we can never seem to talk, touch, and share as much as we want to. But time never goes by so quickly that I don't stop and think of you and smile and feel glad that we're together. I love you. And it says, baby, I know that I'm such a lemon head. And he had given me a box of lemon head to go with this. And when it comes to keeping you happy, but there is nothing more that I desire to do other than shower you with kisses of love. Joe. Things like that, even when we had bumps in the road, just sort of helped to smooth the bumps out a little bit. He rescued me out of so many life situations. If you've ever been to Choctaw, you understand the challenges that are in that place. Joe, he had moved out to Texas, and he wanted me to come out, and my mom refused to let me go. At that point, I was just fed up with my family situation. My plan was to make sure that I finished school. Once I finished school, I was leaving and I was never coming back. I was determined to get out of Choctaw. The night of graduation, I remember putting on my cap and gown, and I packed up everything that I had, and I left Shaw going to Texas where he was. There was a prophecy that was given to me from a minister that I met. I'll never forget it. You getting ready to go on a journey, and everything you put your hands to do is going to prosper. I'm thinking like, he has to be crazy because I messed up life so bad. You know, what good can come out of it? I had no idea that we were getting ready to come back to Shaw, because I promised that I would not come back to my mama's home. We moved back here, we got married. How long was I late, Joe, for the wedding? This picture is special to me because this is my mom. This is one of the pictures I have of her walking and participating in the wedding. Shortly after, her health started to decline really, really fast. Before she passed, we were able to mend broken relationships. I could have easily dropped out of high school after everything that was going on, but because of support from Joe and so many, I was able to move forward with my life with him. This picture is the culmination of that. It is the Doctorate of Social Work degree from Tulane University. And I can remember our first week of class with Tulane. The instructor asked us, "What do you all want this degree for?" And I began to tell them that I want this degree for my community. This is for Shaw.
Mississippi, you're progressing. You're talking to me today, and I'm an African-American woman running the two largest museums in the state of Mississippi. Go figure that. The thing with progression here is, though, in some points we are regressing. So it's like a balance that we're gonna have to figure out, what do we do? The old South is gone. We are not old Mississippi.
Now to the historic decision in Mississippi to bring down the state flag, which has flown for 126 years.
Our vote is 37-14. The bill passes.
Lawmakers late Sunday officially retiring the Confederate battle emblem.
The flag was the emblem of the Confederate Army in the U.S. Civil War. It fought in part to keep slavery in America. Slavery was abolished, but attitudes and policies of segregation would persist. Wherever people protested against civil rights, this flag was usually there.
They handed me those flags here at the two Mississippi museums. And I always tell people that, for me, a little dark-skinned girl from West Jackson, Mississippi, was able to hold something that covered my grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents and didn't give them any rights. That was big for me. It was a way to just put them in my hands. I crumbled a little bit, but then something said, I think it was the ancestors telling me to get up, daughter, and stand up straight. And you take this evil, and you hold on to it like you're a superwoman. When you think about the Civil War, Robert E. Lee, who said we need to retire this flag because it's going to show divisiveness. So 126 years later, we're still talking about the same thing. So we have to change. As the flag is new, we become new.
we speak of forgiveness. I know we use it loosely and we talk about it callously. But if we really could grasp what true forgiveness is, slate clean, never to remember it, and then what happens when you forgive yourself? And what happens when you forgive the brute? It will transform the United States of America.
It all started with me trying to figure out a college I wanted to go to next after I left community college.
Now, here at Mercer, I wanted to say congratulations to the students that have taken this step and realizing this opportunity that's here in front of you. Congratulations to you students and all that you've accomplished.
So I'm here to interview to receive a scholarship. I'm not nervous. I think I'm ready for it. I think I'm ready just to get it over with, so. Yeah.
Ready? What is it about you that will stand out in a pool of photographers and videographers to make you different in this field?
Well, where I came from. Because where I came from, it's not a lot of people that really just make it out to do things like this. Not a lot of people have jobs. Not a lot of people have the opportunities to get out and search for things like that. Not a lot of people have the opportunity to go to college. I'm gonna be able to tell their story from my perspective. If I get knocked down, I'm just gonna get back up.
Well, it was super nice to meet you.
Great that this worked out. Glad we got this. Ain't too bad, did I?
Rod, what's going on? Okay, so Jason, I just got the call today. Ashley just let me know that I got accepted into Mercer. That's a big step in the right direction. How do you feel? Feel pretty good. You feel pretty good. You're the most understated human being.
Rodarius is very smart. And he is strong enough to believe in his future and being successful. I have a high school education, but I didn't go to college. And to see my kids and Rodarius get out high school and go to college and do something that he dreamed of doing, I am overjoyed, that he's making that step.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss everybody.
Get right there, hug. Say, see you later.
See you later.
See you later, Naya.
Love
it.
I guess so. It's my baby boy. Mm-hmm. I miss you now. I'm still not ready, but I'm beginning to accept the fact that he's grown up. Makes me a very proud mom. Let me know that I did my job. So never think that because you're a single parent that you can't succeed with your kids, because you can. I'm a living witness that you can. And it's awesome. Very awesome.
I think we all ought to tap into that little kid that's inside of us. Kids are always filled with such hope, joy, laughter. And I'm still this same little boy of these many years. I'm still hopeful, still dreaming. And this is where I used to come and practice my gift. Back here on the banks of the sand pit. I used to slip back here as a kid. To me, the water was the audience. I would write little speeches, hear my voice echo through the trees. And so I say to you today that even though we face the difficulties of today, and
on this planet, on a certain continent, in a certain country, in a certain state, in a certain county, in a certain city, on the corner of a certain street, God is at work. Rebuilding that which...
You know, my joy has been this. Periodically, it doesn't happen every day, but sometimes I'm in a grocery store and a child come up and say to me, "Do you know me?" The kid says, "I remember all the vacation Bible school lessons." You have all right except one. Every one is right except one. Go back and find the one that's wrong. An adult male who's the principal of an elementary school, but who grew up at Delta Mission from 1st grade to 12th and says thank you. You know what my joy is? Just last week, a woman came up to me and said, if it had not been for you, she said, I don't know where we would be. It doesn't bother me that we're not in a cathedral. That's not my focus. You know what counts? People count. When you touch one life, your living hadn't been in vain. And honestly, at the core of my being, this is my truth. It doesn't matter to me what color you are. Doesn't matter to me what ethnic group you belong to. It doesn't matter to me what your upbringing was like. That doesn't matter to me. You deserve to live a life filled with hope. You deserve a chance. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to be mentored and helped. You deserve to be nurtured.
There you go.
So that one day you can rise, and wherever life takes you, you can touch a life. That's what it's all about. Touching lives and changing hearts.
In telling these stories, you never know who hears you. You never know who's listening. The footsteps are there. The road is already paved. It's just being able to walk in it, understand it, because it's bigger than you.
Congratulations. You did it, boy. You did it.
Something unusual is happening in our world. Something good, it's something invigorating, it's something encouraging, and it's getting our attention.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap.